Hello, welcome to Should I Buy This Game featuring Murdle. My name is Christine, and in this video I'll give you an overview of how the game is played and then share a few things we may like or dislike about the game to help you decide if you want to add Murdle to your collection. This is the game Murdle, a board game, and this is based off the very popular Murdle book series, which is a series of logic puzzles. And so they've made it into a board game. So I'm going to just show you how the game is played and how it is replayable. So it starts with the envelopes. And in each envelope, we have a suspect, a weapon, a location, and a verdict. And we're looking for the guilty verdict. So one is guilty, the other three are innocent. And so at the start of the game, you are randomly you have them upside down. You don't know who is where. And you are changing up each envelope. And that is how this game is replayable, because you don't know who and what and where everything is in each envelope. So we have like 4 suspects. We have Major Red, Silverton the Legend, Dame Obsidian, and the Vice President Mauve. Then you have 4 locations, and we have 4 weapons. So we're trying to find who did it with what weapon in what location throughout the game. Now at the start of the game, you're allowed to choose an envelope, and everybody picks a different one, so they all have different information. And you're allowed to look at 2 of the pieces. Now you're not allowed to look at the verdict, which is in black. So I decided I would look at the suspect, and I have Silverton the Legend. And I looked at the weapon, and I have a spy satellite. So what I would do is I would take my own personal sheet here, and I would have Silverton with the spy satellite. So that's a check mark, and these are X's. Then down below I would write, I had envelope 1, and I had Silverton, and I had spy. And so I would keep notes of what I looked at. So when it's time to play the game, you need to put either an X or a check mark. An X allows you to get a discovery card. The check mark is giving pieces of information to all your opponents, saying this is correct. So I would put an X, say here, and I would get a discovery card. Now, if I was to put a check mark down, I would be able to look at 2 envelopes of my choice, but they would have to be different colors. So I could look at the verdict in one envelope and then one of the other elements in a second envelope. With the X, you're picking a card. So this one gives me a wild. And the wild card lets me only look at one envelope, but I can look at any of the elements. So I'm going to look at the verdict, because this is what we really want to know. We want to focus on who is guilty. So if I stick with envelope 1 and I look at the verdict, it says he is innocent, not the guilty party. So I would make notes here. It has innocent here. And I would know, okay, I don't really care about Silverton anymore. I need more information about my other people. So you would be playing with opponents who would be laying things down. And every time they lay something down, you're going to match it on your sheet. But say in another turn I do this, and I get another card, it's giving me the opportunity to look at a suspect and a location in one envelope. So maybe now I'll move to envelope 2. And I see the location is the village. So I could write that down. Envelope 2, we have the village. And I can look at maybe the suspect. In envelope 2 is Dame. So I would write that down. So then I would know that the Dame was in the village. So I would do that and then put X's. And then return the information. So this is basically how the game is played. And if you've ever done logic puzzles before, it's the same thing. So you're just going to be going through, putting check marks, finding information, seeing what your opponents are putting down. You're putting X's. How does that relate to what you already know? And you're just trying to find the guilty party throughout the game. So overall, we really enjoyed this game. Gemma is a big fan of the Murdle books. She owns, I think, all of them. And so when I saw the board game, I thought it'd be really fun to play together. I've done logic puzzles for years and years. One's a lot more complicated than this grid. And so I like that sort of puzzle of piecing together who did it. And because of the way the envelopes work, you can replay this game forever because you never know what combination of suspect, weapons, and locations and verdict is going to be within an envelope. It's going to change every single game, so you can't just guess out who you think it is. So obviously though, if you don't like logic puzzles, then yeah, no, this is not the game for you. If you do, then it's pretty straightforward, and I really like how they worked the book into an actual game. So let me know if you have played Murdle and what you think of the game.